Stellantis is in big trouble. I'm talking Jeep, Ram, Dodge. Their days in the United States, well, they could be numbered. I mean, realistically, there is a chance that these are the car brands that the CEO of Stellantis, the parent company of these brands, he said Chinese car companies, Chinese conglomerates have been trying to buy Stellantis brands. One of them was Alfa Romeo, but the others probably were Ram and Jeep. Now imagine if Jeep was able to purchase, imagine if BYD or Geely or SAIC, imagine if one of them was able to purchase Ram or Jeep. They'd probably turn the brand around, but that would give China a lot more power in America, and I don't think the American government would be too happy about that, but it could happen. Look at the sales fall. I mean, if the sales keep falling this much, these guys are literally screwed. I mean, 4 straight quarters of losses, just losses of sales. We're not talking small numbers. We're not talking 1% declines. I mean, the last 3 months, they fell a further 21%. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Great to see you. Now, YouTube members, we do have, guys, there is a YouTube member section of the channel, and you do get to see some videos that aren't seen on the main channel. So, Stellantis US sales have fallen a further 21%. They are rolling out extra discounts upon discounts upon discounts to stop the bleeding. Jeep Wagoneer sales apparently went well, but in general, everything else was shocking. Stellantis has really screwed things up in America, and the company is continuing to pay for their, pretty serious mistakes as second quarter sales fell 21%. That's a pretty big fall. Sales fell from 434,650 units in 2023 to 344,000. So sales fell by 90,000. 90,000 vehicles. I mean, that is crazy, guys. Stellantis, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, they're only sold in America. This is basically America only. So if they lose these numbers, if they fall another 21% next quarter, or even 21% over the next 12 months, which is almost guaranteed to happen, then this company is in major trouble. How can they justify their existence? I don't understand how they can do this and make a profit. Remember, the key metrics, you need to hit key metrics, guys, for your factories to stay open. If you can't actually produce, basically car factories, they need to run at a minimum of 80% efficiency. Otherwise, they can't actually make a profit. They begin to make losses on every car they sell. That's what's going to happen here. It's the same story with you ramping up EV sales. That's why so many manufacturers don't make a profit on EVs, because you need to be making a minimum. Chinese car brands, this is what they say. They say you need to make 500,000 vehicles in a factory or of one model to actually just break even. Now, as you can see, these brands are nowhere near that. This difference shows you that through the first 6 months of the year, FCA US sold 677,000 vehicles. That's a pretty big drop from the 803,000 units sold this time last year. So sales have fallen by nearly 130,000 in total for the first 6 months of the year. And considering this is really the only car market for FCA, the US, right? That means if they just match this for the rest of the year, you're looking at only around 1.3 million car sales. That means they're dropping off 3 brands together, dropping to like Mazda levels. That's the point of no return. Once you go below 1 million sales per year for a car company, you are considered to be virtually defunct. You're considered to be in a place where Rivian and Lucid are at, right? Where you're losing huge amounts of money. And the thing is, this is even worse when you consider the reality that these guys don't make EVs. They don't make compelling products. Yeah, they're in the process of trying to manufacture them, but the reality is almost all the cars they sell are either hybrids or internal combustion engine vehicles. Their factories are not set up for the future of the automotive industry, so their sales are falling. They're in a position where they don't have the facilities to produce new products that people want to buy. It looks so much like BlackBerry. It really does. If you said to people, say a year before everything just went off the planet at BlackBerry, if you said you guys are going to be finished in a few years, people would have thought you were crazy. Well, I'm saying it now. What's the reason for the shortfall? A drop in sales for every single model that the company sells. That's the reason. Every model except one. At Jeep, Wrangler sales down 17%. Now we're just talking the last quarter here, not the last year or two. Gladiator sales were off 24%. The Jeep Cherokee and the Renegade, well, they're already dead. Keep in mind, Jeep went bankrupt in China as well last year. The Chrysler 300 sales were down by 53% to 2,000 units. Now that vehicle's apparently finished as well. Chrysler 300, I believe that vehicle's finished by the end of this year. And yeah, I mean, 2,000 sales for 3 months means, as you can see, there's no demand for it. Dodge Charger sales down 34%. Challenger down 11%. Everything's down. It's just, wow, bleeding and red everywhere. Those numbers will continue to go down as dealers basically clear out inventory of old vehicles. A lot of these models are basically defunct, close to it. So there is no chance that they're going to improve this situation this year. I mean, literally no chance. Ram sales. Here's the surprising thing. You would think, well, Ram pickup trucks, Americans love pickup trucks. Pickup truck sales segment continues to grow. Not for Ram. Sales plummeted by 23% to only 90,000. Pacifica sales down 16%. Durango sales down 9%. Holy smokes. I mean, Alfa Romeo, right? And the Giulia and the Stelvio, that's another brand owned by Stellantis. Their sales were down significantly as well. The second quarter was absolutely brutal for Stellantis, and there's only one real model that improved its sales, the Jeep Wagoneer. Sales increased by 107%, but the Wagoneer can't save the company. Only 16,000 vehicles are delivered, and it's not terrible, but it's nowhere near enough. Wagoneer, the Grand Wagoneer as well, that improved sales, but only to 4,000 vehicles for 3 months. So we're only talking about 1,300 vehicles per month. It's really nothing. Sales of the Fiat 500X, those increased by 7%, but only 153 of those were sold, so only 50 per month. In addition to that, the Stellantis, they do have one completely electric car currently on sale, but they only sold 163 of those. So basically Stellantis sold a total of 163 EVs, fully electric cars, over the past 3 months in America. That's the Fiat 500 EV. I don't think Americans like these kind of small electric cars. And maybe they do, but whatever the case may be, they don't sell in America. Now, looking at the Dodge Hornet. Sales for the Hornet went down as well. They only sold 4,300. Alfa Romeo Tonale, they only sold 887. Big incentives are already being offered by dealers on all these vehicles. So it's not like they're not already trying this stuff, right, guys? They're not already offering big discounts. They are. It's not working. They're offering now additional discounts, a so-called $2,000 cash back across many of our nameplates. Guys, the truth is, any dealership, or nearly any dealership, is going to offer you pretty big discounts on any one of these models. But that won't help them, because in the long run, they need new product. They need better products. They need to take electric cars seriously. Combination of plug-in hybrids and electric cars, if they'd taken them seriously, right now they could have grown their sales rather than be in a position where they might follow China. They might follow what Jeep did in China in a few years. You never know. What do you think, guys? Let me know on the channel. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.